Hi, this is Valkorum and welcome back to the channel. Today we're having a look at a new game called airportceo that was released on the 4th of March. The developer Apoapsis Studios, I really hope I pronounced that correctly, contacted me and offered me a key to play the game, so how could I resist? So airportceo is a tycoon and management game where you take the seat as a CEO of your own airport. I'd planned on doing a first look video and actually recorded about 3 hours worth of footage, but to be honest, I wasn't happy with any of the footage as I felt it wouldn't represent the game well, mainly because there were aspects of the game I didn't understand. So I spent some time, played through the game quite a few times, and I believe I've come up with a way to create a starter airport that slowly turns over a profit. This will allow you and me to then start exploring in more depth the rest of this game. Alright, let's get started. Okay, first things first, if you're playing this for the first time, then I recommend going through the introduction, but I'll skip that and I'll try and explain. So what I'm doing is I'm going to build just what I think is a nice base starter one that turns over a nice profit. You can build it within the $3 million budget that you get with playing on easy, and we'll just go from there. So your map consists of 4 areas. Each one of these to unlock is another 750,000, but for now we just want to focus in this first one. This is what's called your world entrance tunnel. It's where traffic comes in, passengers etc. come in. And then you've got a contractor transfer site and a delivery site where goods are delivered. The first things you need to do is actually go in and actually set up a work contract. So you hit tab, go to economy, and go to offered contracts. At the moment I've only got 1. Sometimes when you start you get 2. So this one here, actually quite a bad contract, $9.30 per hour, and I can only get 76 of them. But anyway, don't have a choice, so we'll sign that. That allows you to then order workers to do the work, which you get under operations and then construction. And this is where we can hire or fire them. At the moment I'm going to deploy them. And then once you've finished all your work and you're not going to use them for all, you can actually come in here and actually dismiss them all as well. So, but for now we'll leave it like that. I've currently got the game paused because I want to sort of flesh out and build out the design. Alright, so first things first I'm going to build is our drop-off points. So what we want to do is in our infrastructure and transportation, we want to get some public roads. And then I'm going to actually build here. I'm going to come up this way a bit, and then we're going to come in, staying in this infrastructure and transportation. We're going to build, where are we? The car stop. Now, this bit's a little bit confusing when I first started, but you can see the green is the actual item, and the red there, it means it needs access to a public road. So I'm going to put them this way, and I'm going to place 6 of them is what I found. Works for me, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. And I'm going to come and grab the taxi one and do the same thing. I'm going to place them there, but see how we could place it on that one, but we still need to build a road here, so I'll build it there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to come and get the bus stop and do the same thing there. So 1, 2, and 3 of those. Right, I went 1 too far on the road. So we can come back to the road. Now a little cool thing is when you're in this building, you can hit control and the left click, and that can get rid of items. Alright, so I'm going to finish building the road around. Now one thing I really didn't find out about the second or third time I played through was this one-way road feature. So we can actually set the direction of where people are going to go on the road. So I want to set all my traffic to go in one direction. Set it around like that, and then all the way down. So then on this side, I'm going to set the traffic Oops, sorry, I actually got to click on the road section. Alright, so now we've set all our roads so that every traffic comes in this way and has to go around in a loop. So whether they're coming in to drop off by a car or a taxi or the bus comes in, they're all going to go around in this loop. Next thing is you want to build like a public parking lot. So here is where people obviously can come park their cars and hop on. So what I like to do is like to keep it a block away because we're going to build something else in between. So you can choose as many as you want. I'm going to go with 4 each side. Turn that around and we'll double them up. Alright, so we've got 8 parking lots. I'm going to grab the road again. Build the road through here. And then the same thing again. Come back in, choose that one-way road, and we set the direction of the road. So now we want to come in and I want to grab the sidewalk because we need a place where people can actually walk. I'm going to build sidewalk in here, and I bring it all the way down, and then I'm going to bring it across here. So this basically allows all the passengers to come from the car park all the way down to where we're going to build our terminal. Now, they cannot cross roads without crosswalks. So we put a crosswalk there, and then we're going to change to the small ones, and we're going to put crosswalks there, there, and there. Okay, so when they're at the bus stop, so the bus will come in, pull in here, the car will pull in here, people are waiting there, and then they can use this crosswalk to cross over the road and come down. Sidewalk, just remember we need to cover here as well. People can walk through the car park onto the sidewalks, they can go this way, but what I also try to do is create crosswalk opportunity for them so they can come through the car park as well. So it's covered off all our pick up and drop off areas, and we've made it so that all our passengers can actually get through as well. That's one thing I found wasn't very clear on how that was through trial and error setting up the crosswalks. So if you just set this up like this without the crosswalks, people just stay stuck in here and they won't move. Next thing we want to build is our terminal. So we come to the terminal one and the terminal foundation. Now you can build the terminal as big or as small as you like. So I'm just going to build it this big. We're going to extend it, but this is just the entry. Now if you notice, when it builds it, it then builds these walls around it. So we can edit the walls, we can remove them, and we can change things around to fit the design. So for now, the next thing I need to do is build a bathroom, because people need to be able to go to the toilet, but we need to come through these zones. So if you click on the zones, you can see we can have a staff zone, meaning that only staff can walk in that area, a bathroom zone, or a staff room. We'll get others along the way, but for now we're just going to set up the bathroom. I don't know why, I just like to set it up so that it's in the corners. So 4x7 is what I found is a good size. And we'll do that because we're going to do a male and a female toilet. And we'll do the same on the other side. 4x7, 4x7. Then you can come back into terminal and you can check this one here for walls, and you can build the wall around it, like so. And then we can come to this one and we can choose our doors. So you can rotate by pressing R. Then we're going to rotate the door, put them there. Alright, so back into the bathroom, we're going to need some toilets. Rotate that. So this one's going to be my female toilet. So it's just toilets. This one's going to be the male one, so I'm just going to do 4 toilets, and we'll do 3 urinals, but we'll do that in a second. Again, this side is to be our female toilet. All toilets. To keep it the same. 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. Then we'll get the urinal. Put 1, 2, 3 of them in there. 1, 2, 3 there. We'll get a sink. Put it the right way, yep. How I like to lay it out is sink with a gap, because we'll put a hand dryer in between. It's the same on this side. Here. Over there. Then we get a hairdryer. Put one there, one there. There. And if we come back into terminal, I like to get a bin. You actually need a bin in the bathroom. So that's our bathroom set. So now what we can do when we click on the room, we can select either everyone can use it, female can use it, or a male can use it. So in this case, we want to make sure that's for male, that one's for female, that one's for female, and that one is for male. And when that's built, then we need to make sure we can turn the rooms on. The other thing we need to do right at the moment is a staff room. So we need to create a staff room area. Personally, I'm going to create that here. And we're going to get walls. Put the walls around. Then we're going to get a door. I'll put a door in. Now, in the staff room section, the only thing I've ever seen in there is an office desk. We'll need that for our staff. We'll get into that a bit later on, but lay down a row of desks, and we'll leave it at that. Next thing we need to do is a security area. Come back into here, and this will be where, actually, before we do that, we should probably have doors, so that we can actually get into the terminal. Alright, so now there's going to be a security area. So I'm just going to build another little section, remove the walls. Alright, and so from here on, this is where our security check is going to be. So if you go to a normal airport and you got to go through, take your laptops and all your keys and wallet and everything out of your pocket. Well, that's what we're going to set up in this section here. And then we've got the part beyond it where we're going to actually have access to the terminals. So we'll build up another section. And how far do we want to go across? So I only want to do it about 4 or 5 squares is normally what I run. But for now, before I build that, I want to lay out where we're going to put our airport stands. Grab our airport stand. I don't see the point of grass, to be honest. I think a concrete one looks good. Now, one thing it doesn't, well, I didn't find it too good in the tutorial, is which side's which. So if you can see on this bottom side of what I'm looking at now, that's where the passengers come in, and that needs to be connected to the terminal. So if we put it here and then had no connection to it, you won't be able to use it. And on the top side of it is where the plane taxis in. So we need to make sure we're going to be putting this in a place where we want. So I said I wanted to have a terminal of 4 width. Yep, so we'll put, it's going to build 6. So 3 there, 2, oops, and 3. So that's where my 6 planes are going to be. So I'll build them in place, then I'll come back to the terminal and I'll build that. I'll get rid of this. And one thing I found, I don't know if it's unique to do it or not, but what I found is when you build another room like that, it doesn't put on these little corner blocks. So you need to come back and put them in. So that's going to be the basis of our terminal. Right, so the next we need to do is a place for the planes to take off and land. You can do it on one runway, so that's under the aircraft infrastructure, and then runway. At the moment we've only got access to small runway. You can get a medium or large through research, and we'll get to that later. So you can set this up however you like. For me, I like to have two. So I'm going to put one here. So the other thing to note is the direction. Okay, so at the moment, all planes that would arrive or leave on that runway will go from north to south. This one I want to be my arrival runway. So I want them to come from the south and arrive in the north. So I'm going to place it that way. And then I want my departure to be here. So again, from east to west, I want them to leave. So make sure the arrows are facing that direction. There's one aspect that's not really realistic because they would change the direction that planes would land and take off from depending on wind in real life. So we've got our two runways placed. Then we've got to have this runway ramp. You can have angled ones if you want. I've just gone with the square ones. You have to place two on there for it to work. So I want one to be there, one there. Even though I'm actually only going to use one of them, you still have to place two of them. And I don't like that because I want that one more block down. Let's replace that. Put that there. And build another one and put that there. So we're going to make this one as our arrival, so they're going to come in this way. And then this one's going to be our departure, where they're going to have to come through here and they're going to leave that way. So now we need to build is the taxiway foundation. So this is where all the planes move around on the airport. So I'm going to build a section there. I like to make 5 wide, seems to work really well. 5 there above that. And then we'll build this down to there, and then we'll connect that up. Okay, so that's planes are going to come in this way, and then do the same here, and build that in there. Alright, so the flow we're going to have is planes landing here, come down here, into the terminal or the stand, ready to leave. They'll come this way and go out. So now we need to build those pathings. So there's an option in aircraft infrastructure called taxiway path. And it's basically a connect the dots. Not that we needed to connect that one, but anyway. Right, so this is the directions that planes can take. Then we need to connect up these as well. So you can see now our plane's going to arrive here. They can go follow this taxi route into their stand, and when they leave they can follow that route to there. Oh, and I've put that runway the wrong way around. Let's replace that. It's going to go that way. Put that there. Right. Okay. So now we've got the basics there of the direction. Now, when you're going through the tutorial, it will tell you to use to set up some general aviation. I think it's called. Yeah, general aviation stands. So I'll create some of those in a different location just so that we can see that as well. So again, we'll grab the airport stand. Actually, I'm going to grab a taxi foundation. Actually, no, we'll do a stand first. One there. That way. We'll just put 6 in here just to show you. I think it tells you to put in 5 in the thing. Anyway. And now we'll build out the taxiway. So on one there. We need to build the taxiway. Same again here. So you can see now we're going to set this one up for our commercial, and this one here is for our general aviation. So next thing we need to build is infrastructure on how do we support these planes. So if we come to the infrastructure, first thing is this vehicle checkpoint. I didn't think the tutorial gave me a good understanding of what this does, but basically this allows you to have transfer from a public road to a service only road. Right, so if we zoom in and have a look, if you see on one side it's got spanners, on the other side it doesn't. So that one side with the spanners has to be connected to service roads, and the bottom one as you see it has to be connected to public roads. So we're going to set that up this way. We're going to place it there. So we need to connect public roads to that, but I need to clear off that. Oh, hang on. Oh, I know what I've done. I've put the car parks one too high. Let me just fix that up quickly. There, right. Now, let's do that. Okay, so now we can build to there. And then what I normally also do as well is I build an exit. Get rid of that. So keeping with the theme of everything flowing through in this circle to get in and out, including any service vehicles, etc. that go through. So let's set up the direction. So we come this way, up there, and then out there. Okay. So now that allows us to get our service vehicles in and out, fuel deliveries, other bits and pieces that we'll get to as well. So now we need to connect our service road to our stands. So let's build that one, build to there. Okay, so now we have access to these sections here where our service vehicles can actually drive along in that section, and then on this section over here as well. So now in our service section we need to place a vehicle depot or a service vehicle parking lot, but I've always just gone with the depot. We place that, and that allows us to have housing for 20 vehicles. I'm going to put that one there, and then we need the fuel, and I'm going to put that fuel depot there. So at the moment I believe it's all we can do for now with the infrastructure. We can build out the rest of the terminal shortly. But before we unpause, we need to go into operations, R&D, and we need to start a new project. In this case we want to do a commercial license, because that allows us to have the commercial planes, which is what we're building for. We select that one, start project, and you need to actually assign administrators. So for this particular project we need at least 2, up to a maximum of 5. So to do that we go to staff, applicants, you can filter by all, or you can just filter by administrators. So at the moment there's only 1, and it's not a very good one. I try to get them all with green, but don't really have a choice right now. So we come back to the R&D and then we assign that administrator. But at the moment this project won't start until we have 2. But we definitely need that project to start. But at the same time, we can unpause right now, and then at least it'll start building this, and while that's happening, more staff members will come through. So let's unpause, we'll put it on triple speed. So here comes our contractors. They're coming and landing in the contractor area. And then here come our items that the contractors use to go and build everything. So you can see they're coming in one direction and then going back on the other. Right, so they're off building everything. So you can see that's all getting built. While they're doing that, we'll go to staff, applicants, administrators. Yes, here we go. So we can hire 2 administrators. We'll add them in there. Get rid of, I'm sorry, but I like green. So now we can see when they arrive, they should start doing that project. Alright, now we just watch everyone build it. Okay, so our first standard build. So you can see here, it gives a couple of reds, meaning it's not usable right now. Arrival or departure runway is not connected. So that's fine, we'll fix that up in a minute. So then we've got a toggle here of switch between general aviation or a commercial flight. So we want these ones to be our general, so we'll leave that here. When these ones are built, we'll switch that over to here, so that becomes a commercial option. Literally just a waiting game now, waiting for everything to get built. So I'll try and set a time lapse going so this runs a bit faster, and catch up on the other side. Okay, we're back. It's all been built. So you can see now everything's all done. We're in night time, so there is day-night time obviously. That's all been built. All our workers are now back in the staff room because they've got no jobs to do. So keep in mind that that's costing us money. As you can see, we're losing $3,000 an hour at the moment. But what I might do is I might call that the end of this episode, and the next episode we'll go through the next steps on how we finish out the terminal, how we lay out and set up all the stands that they're working, and sign contracts and get planes landing. If you like what you see, please hit that like and subscribe button, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.